So Apple has recently updated the Clips app, and the first thing you'll notice when you launch it is it has a new interface. So Clips used to only run in portrait mode, which was forced to be like this, but now for the first time Clips will actually run in landscape, which is convenient, especially for making movies. So the way Clips works is if I was going to record my button or the way Clips works is if I want to record my audio, I have this big pink record button here. And if I tap on that button, I have to hold it down to tell it to start recording. Or if I hold it down and drag it to the right, it'll actually lock that recording until I tap it again. So it is now recording my voice. Hello world, how's it going? Recording my picture at the same time. And then I'm going to go ahead and tap to tell it to stop. Now, I can also switch between the front-facing and rear-facing camera in order to control what's being recorded as well. And once it gets recorded, it shows up down here at the bottom. Now, when I tap on it down here at the bottom, I have some different options here that I can adjust how things look. So, number one, I can trim. So I have my finger sticking there at the beginning, so I could simply drag from the beginning here and trim that part off in the beginning and for the end, until I get it to be just what I want, maybe right in there, and then hit trim, and that'll shorten that down. It by default will have the audio that went with it. So if I tap it again, so it is now recording my voice. And the audio is recorded, but I can simply tap the mute button here and mute that audio if I wanted to. If I wanted to take this clip and divide it up into multiple clips, I could tell it to split that clip, and then I could drag this line to a specific spot and then go ahead and tell it to split, and it would make that into two separate clips. Now if I play it, it's going to play smoothly from one clip to the next, but what splitting a clip allows you to do is I could actually apply some effects or something to one clip and then something different to the second clip if I wanted to. So speaking of effects, that shows up under that top button there. So I tap on a clip, I tap on effects, and the effects panel has been totally redesigned here. So I have different video effects that I can apply to my video, which are kind of fun. So I can pick and choose one that I like. Maybe I want a watercolor effect here. And then down here at the bottom of that effects panel, you'll notice I have not only filters, but I have live text. So if I recorded some text, which it'll do automatically, I could tell it how that text is going to show up on the page. Now by default, it'll listen to my text and it'll put that text, converts that speech to text for me automatically. So if it did a good job, I could choose maybe something like this. And if I tap edit text, I can actually choose and see exactly what it recorded, and I could go ahead and make some changes if it messed some things up, if I need to. Next to text, I have the ability to choose to add some little pop-up text in here. So there are some little text bubbles or text effects, if you will, that I can add to this. So if I wanted something like this, I can simply tap it, and then I can move these around. Move my keyboard here. I can rearrange. I can resize just by pinching and zooming. I could spin or rotate however I want to make it look the way I want. Maybe I'll have it like that. And then if I simply tap inside of it, I could go ahead and change that text to make it say whatever I want. There is also an option for text now if I tap on it that will simply allow it to enable or disable tracking. Tracking will simply make it stay or line up with your face. So it's identifying your face and tracking your face as you're moving. And so if you're looking a certain way or if you're moving your head up or down, it'll actually track that with it, which you'll see what I mean here in a minute. Let me click on my other clip here and maybe add some effects to that clip. Maybe this time I want to add some stickers. So the next button down here in my effects tab are some different stickers. I have a bunch to choose from. Now some stickers and text you may have to download the first time you use them, but once you've used them once or downloaded them once, they should always be there. So I have some other fun things here. Maybe I'll add an arrow. I can again just simply move these around, resize, spin, rotate, etc. To adjust exactly how these go or where these go when I arrange it. Now, let's say I wanted to add something to this video. I can go ahead and done. If I wanted to add something else to this video, I have a little photo library button here. This allows me to choose things that are from my photo library. So if I wanted to maybe choose a picture or a video or something I already have recorded, maybe like this right here. It shows up here, but it doesn't get added until I tap and hold down the pink button. So if I press and hold, or again, if I press and I can drag to the right to lock it if I wanted to, then I won't have to hold. I can let go with my finger. But this will hold this in here. I can also zoom in or zoom out as it is being recorded. So I can stop it, and in that recording, it will include that zoom in and zoom out. Or I could simply position it exactly the way I want first before I tell it to zoom in or zoom out. So that's how I can add images or video into mine. If it is a video I want to add, I can just choose a video clip and do it the exact same way. If it's a 10-second long video, I'm going to push and hold that button down for 10 seconds to get the entire thing, or I could just take part of it in the middle if I want. Now, you may remember posters from the old version of Clips. Posters are still here, but they now live under this photo button here. And so there's a bunch of different photos or different posters to choose from. I could simply choose one. It will download to my device. And once it's downloaded, it shows up. But again, it does not get added to my project until I press and hold that button to record it. So if I needed to change the text, I could do that and tweak it and make it look exactly the way I want. I could add some effects if I wanted to, some stickers or so on. But when I'm ready for it to record, I'm going to tap and hold this button down, the pink button. This will animate with whatever it is, and then I let go whenever I have it finished recording. Now maybe I want this recording to be at the beginning. I can click and hold down, and I can rearrange clips. Maybe I'll put this one, tap and hold, and then move that one in the middle. You can rearrange it and adjust it exactly the way you like. Now, a couple other cool features I can add with my video. In the upper right-hand corner, I have this new little feature that sets the aspect ratio. So it used to be all of the videos you got before were square, which means they were kind of like an Instagram style. But now you can actually do what they call 4:3 dimensions, which is more of an iPad layout, or you can do 16:9, which is more of a laptop or television layout, depending on how you are going to be displaying your video when you're done. I'm going to leave mine in a 4:3. Now the other thing I can do is I can add music. So if I tap this little musical note up here, I can either choose from my music, if you have some music on your device, or you can choose soundtracks. And that's one of my favorite parts about Clips is there are tons and tons and tons of different soundtracks to choose from. Now these will need to be downloaded, so when you tap on a soundtrack that you want to use, it will have to download that soundtrack. Gives you little buttons that does that, and then once I choose it, now that soundtrack has been added. Now I can go back, and it shows me, yep, there's my clip, there's my soundtrack. I hit done, and now I have a finished video with music already lined up and matching. This will animate with whatever it is, and then I press, and I can drag to the right to lock it if I wanted to. Then I won't have to hold. I can let go with my finger. But this will hold this in here. I can also zoom in or zoom out as it is being recorded. And that's it. So once I'm finished and I want to get this video to somebody else, now I have a couple options. When I hit my share arrow, I can choose to share this, but instead of just choosing a person up here at the top, I now have some share options. I can share this as a completed video, which will export this completed video in a final format. Or let's say you have multiple people working on it and you want to send it to somebody else to be able to work on. You could do half of the video and you can share it as a project to somebody else. And as long as they have that same version of Clips, they'll be able to open it up and they can actually finish it on their device, which is new. And again, I get the controls on what size I want it to be and what orientation. And then from here, I like to tell it just to save that video. It's going to compress it, save it right to my photo library, and then from there, I can submit it, I can airdrop it, or I can do whatever I want to share it with whoever I want to see it. And that's all there is to the new version of Clips.